Chosen one, your story will shock them all. Not because of the pain you endured, but because of the power you're about to walk in. It will be great not just because of the rise, but because of the reason behind the rise. The world didn't see you coming. They mistook your silence for weakness. They confused your humility with invisibility. But you are the storm that was hidden in the calm. And now, the moment is arriving when your entire journey will become a testimony that silences doubt and awakens faith in those who gave up believing. Your life hasn't been ordinary, and it was never supposed to be. From the very beginning, something in your spirit was different. Something deep. Something rare. Others noticed it, even if they couldn't explain it. Some admired it, others rejected it. Many tried to ignore it, but destiny never forgot it. And now, that destiny is unfolding before you. Chosen one, watch this video until the end. Because this message is carrying the fire of confirmation for your next season. Write your warmest wishes in the comments and type 777 to energize the universe with your faith. You have no idea how close you are to your moment. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. They thought you'd be done by now. They expected your name to fade, your dreams to dry up, your passion to vanish. But what they forgot is that oil doesn't expire. It only flows stronger under pressure. And that's what you've been under. Divine pressure. Not to crush you, but to shape you into something unforgettable. You're not who you used to be. The past version of you had to break so the future version of you could awaken. And now, you're carrying something greater than what they ever imagined. A story that's been purified in the fire. You were never overlooked. You were being hidden. You were never rejected. You were being redirected. And now, chosen one, the silence is about to turn into a sound so loud that even your enemies will have to pause and listen. Your story has been writing itself in chapters of pain, confusion, endurance, and growth. But this next chapter is glory. It's the rise. It's the moment that explains why the delay happened, why the betrayal had to sting, why the wait took longer than it should have. You will shock them, not out of revenge, but through revelation. The way you glow in grace, the way your purpose unfolds like a sunrise, the way doors open that were once bolted shut. They will see you and feel the weight of everything you overcame. The very people who doubted you will replay your name in awe. Not because you said anything to prove yourself, but because your success will be undeniable. Because your elevation will be too loud to ignore. You're about to become the miracle they whisper about behind closed doors. The one who came back stronger. The one who didn't give up. The one who carried silent wounds and still walked with royalty. You've walked through rooms where you were invisible, and now, you'll walk into rooms where your presence will carry an energy they can't deny. Your story will be told in boardrooms, prayer circles, interviews, and quiet conversations. You'll become the evidence of what happens when favor and fire collide. Let's be clear. They didn't think you'd survive. Some were even counting on your collapse. But heaven was counting on your comeback. And you didn't fold. You felt the weight, but you didn't drop. You cried quietly, but you rose louder. You stumbled, yes, but you kept stepping forward. And every single moment of that will now serve your rise. Because elevation isn't random, it's recognition. It's destiny saying, I saw everything. And now, it's time to reward the endurance. This is your time. Not a borrowed moment, not a lucky coincidence, but a divinely timed unveiling of everything you were born to be. You're not just stepping into greatness, you're becoming it. You're embodying the truth that every closed door, every silent season, every lonely prayer had a purpose. You were not forgotten. You were being formed, and now that formation is about to bear fruit that the world can't deny. Stay grounded, chosen one. Stay focused. You're not in competition. You're in confirmation. This rise was promised, not negotiated. This blessing is inherited, not borrowed. You don't have to explain yourself to people who didn't see the vision. You don't owe a single word to those who mocked the process. Let your story do the speaking. Let your light do the talking. Let your greatness be the announcement. Because what's coming next will not just elevate you, it will vindicate every quiet sacrifice you made. It will honor every moment you chose discipline over comfort, belief over doubt, purpose over pleasure. You're not being lifted randomly. You're being lifted because you've become ready. The world is about to meet the version of you that was shaped in the dark. The version of you that walks with clarity, courage, and calm power. The version of you that shocks the world, not with noise, but with impact. And so, hold your head high. Keep moving. Don't let the noise distract you now. You're walking into a chapter where favor flows like a river and recognition chases after you. Keep your peace, because your presence is already powerful. Keep your pace, because the promise is unfolding. Don't rush the moment. The same hands that held you in private are now preparing to crown you in public. And when it happens, when the shock waves of your story ripple through places that once rejected you, don't be surprised. Just smile. You always knew this day was coming. You always knew the rise would arrive. Now, the world will know too. Chosen one, you are no longer walking through life unseen. The heavens have already begun to part on your behalf. What you thought was being delayed was only being prepared in rooms your feet hadn't touched yet. There were meetings where your name was mentioned, plans were made in silence, and doors were aligned not by effort, but by favor. And now, everything that was whispered in the spiritual realm is about to shout in the physical. What they once ignored, they will now celebrate, because your story has undeniable glory stitched into every page. The version of you they last saw is not the version that's about to rise. They left you at a chapter that no longer defines you. While they moved on assuming you were done, you were in deep transformation. You were building something internal that no storm could destroy. You were developing character while others chased clout. You were becoming solid while others were chasing surface. And now, your solid foundation is about to launch you into heights they can't comprehend. You don't need to shout. Your success will do the talking. You'll walk into spaces that once rejected you and be treated like royalty, not because the space changed, but because you did. You'll encounter people who once belittled you, and they'll look again and not recognize the glow on your face. They'll see the elevation in your voice. They'll feel the certainty in your presence. You won't need to tell them who you are. The room will already know. This is divine reversal. This is the plot twist heaven wrote while you were still healing. You were in the background, but not forgotten. You were out of sight, but never out of alignment. And now, alignment is turning into acceleration. The things that once took years will come together in months. Connections will arrive with no explanation. Opportunities will appear without effort. Favor will rest on your shoulders like a robe, and nothing will be able to stop the rising wave of goodness heading toward your life. They will say, How did it happen so fast? But you'll know it wasn't fast. It was just finally. Finally, things are aligning. Finally, doors are opening. Finally, people are recognizing the depth you always carried. But while it's new to them, it's not new to you. You always knew you carried something powerful. You always knew your pain wasn't pointless. You always knew your silence was sacred. You just had to wait for the right moment. And chosen one, that moment has arrived. There's something about your presence now. It's different. It carries weight. It carries history. It carries depth that can't be faked. Because this power wasn't bought. It was built. In tears. In prayers. In private decisions that no one else will ever understand. You chose the narrow road. You chose the lonely nights. You chose the mission over the moment. And now, heaven is choosing you in return. And listen, it's not just about success. It's not just about status or material blessings. It's about the impact your story will have. You're going to be the person who makes someone else believe again. You'll become the reason a soul in hiding finally steps into their power. Your testimony will be the spark that lights torches in people who gave up on themselves. You are the one who proves that destiny delays, but never denies. This elevation won't just look good on you. It will feel good on you. Because it matches your heart. It mirrors your growth. It reflects everything you had to endure. You're not just rising, you're healing. You're not just being noticed, you're being honored. And that is what will shock the world. Not just your success, but your spirit. The way you carry yourself through it all. With grace, with humility, with strength that doesn't need applause. Stay grounded. Stay silent when needed. Let your moves speak. Let your fruit speak. Because your life is becoming the loudest message of all. A message that says, God is real, favor is real, timing is real, and so is the rise of the ones who were overlooked. Chosen one, you were being observed in every season. Even when you felt invisible, the right eyes were watching. And now, the revelation is coming, the one that puts you exactly where you were meant to be, on the stage of destiny. On the throne of restoration, not because you pushed for it, but because you prepared for it. And that preparation has made you unstoppable. Let them wonder how it happened. Let them question what changed. Let them speculate. You don't need to explain. Your story will answer for itself, and what it says will be undeniable. You were chosen, prepared, hidden, refined, and now, revealed. They thought your story ended in the place you were last seen struggling. They assumed the pain would become your prison. But what they didn't know is that pain became your passport. You didn't stay there. You grew. You evolved. You transformed in silence. You ascended without applause. And now, you're about to re-enter the narrative not as a victim, not even as a survivor, but as a victorious force of divine purpose. And that return, that reappearance, will leave the world speechless. This is more than a comeback. This is a coronation. This is not just another step forward. It's a divine leap that will erase every doubt anyone ever had about you. And while others scramble to figure out the secret, you'll smile knowing the secret was never outside of you. It was in you, buried deep, covered by seasons of silence and refinement, but never lost. It just needed time to mature. And now, it has matured. Now you are ripe with power, with wisdom, with presence. You walk into spaces and they shift, not because of ego, but because of essence. Your energy has changed, and it's magnetic. What once ignored you now draws near. What once avoided you now seeks your light. You were once underestimated. Now you're unforgettable. Do you feel it? The air around you is different. The atmosphere reacts to your movement now. This is what happens when someone walks with authority that was earned in fire. You're not just another success story. You're a symbol. A reminder that divine timing is never late. That faith without recognition still moves mountains. That silence is not surrender. It's strategy. They'll wonder how you kept going. They'll ask how you endured so much without breaking. And the truth is, you did break. You just didn't stay broken. You stitched your soul back together with threads of hope. You held on to faith even when it trembled in your hands. You showed up to life every day even when life showed you storms. And that decision, day after day, has brought you here, to this new reality, to this jaw-dropping moment when the narrative flips in your favor. This is the chapter where tables turn, where everything that was used against you becomes the platform beneath you. The lies, the betrayals, the setbacks, they're no longer weights. They're proof. Proof that you are stronger than anything that tried to silence you. That you are still standing not by chance, but by divine design. And now, you're not just surviving the story. You're writing it. And what you write will awaken hope in countless others who thought their story was over too. They won't believe how far you've come. They'll try to process the transformation, but it won't add up. Because favor never makes logical sense. And that's the point. You're not a result of a formula. You're a result of faith, of divine orchestration, of walking when it hurt, of staying when it was lonely, of becoming when no one was watching. And the beauty is, you're still just getting started. What's about to be revealed is only the beginning of the greatness that's been growing in you. There's more coming, more favor, more breakthroughs, more alignment, and none of it is based on what you've done lately. It's a reward for who you've become. Your essence has shifted. You are not the same. You are not small. You are not forgotten. You are divine evidence of what happens when someone holds on to their calling, even when everything else falls apart. So walk boldly now, with the calm fire of someone who knows they were forged in silence for a public victory. You don't need revenge. You don't need validation. You already have something more powerful: revelation. You know who you are now. You know why it took time. You know why they couldn't see it before. And because you no longer need to convince anyone. You're past the phase of proving. You're in the phase of becoming. Let them talk. Let them guess. Let them replay the past. You don't live there anymore. You're walking in vision now, not memory. You're being led by your future, not haunted by your history. Your energy is focused. Your heart is protected. Your soul is glowing. And your presence is becoming prophetic. You are the shift. You are the sign. You are the one that changes the room just by entering it. So don't be surprised when the invitations start arriving. When the phone rings from people who once ignored your calls. When platforms open that once rejected you. When support comes from places you never expected. This is what happens when divine timing meets divine readiness. And you are ready now, fully, completely, unapologetically. There's no need to shrink back, no reason to hide your light. Shine, chosen one. Shock them with grace, stun them with purpose, inspire them with consistency. And above all, move in silence when necessary, but never in shame. You are not the same. And your story is about to remind the world that glory can come from grit, and beauty can rise from ashes. Chosen one, what's coming for you isn't random. It's reverent. It's sacred. It's holy ground appearing beneath your feet as you walk. You're stepping into a space that wasn't built by human hands. It was carved out by divine intention. And now, every step you take will carry meaning. Your journey is no longer hidden in pain, but crowned in purpose. You're not just being seen, you're being recognized. And not just for what you've done, but for what you've endured and still chose to become. Let this truth settle deep. Your story is not just inspirational, it's transformational. It won't just move people emotionally, it will awaken something spiritually. Because when people see how far you've come, they'll realize they can rise too. You've been chosen not just to succeed, but to reveal, to reflect something greater than ambition, to shine as a mirror of resilience, restoration, and divine orchestration. You've carried seasons of silence, but now your voice is amplified by the volume of truth. Not a loud truth, not a forced one, but a resonant one. A truth that echoes across timelines, that lingers in rooms long after you've walked out. A truth that says, greatness doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives healed. And that's what shocks them the most, that you didn't just rise, you rose whole. The shock they feel will not be from your material blessings. That will just be the surface. The real awe will come from your peace, from the way you carry yourself with a calm authority, from the way you respond without reacting, from the way you stay centered even in celebration. Because the version of you they once knew sought approval. But this version of you seeks alignment. And alignment always leads to abundance. This next season will be filled with firsts. First invitations to rooms you once prayed to enter. First confirmations that you were always called. First glimpses of the fruit that grew from the soil of your patience. And when it begins, it won't trickle. It will flood. The momentum is building not from the outside, but from within. And now that you've become internally unshakable, the external shift has no choice but to respond. This is a reward that cannot be stolen, copied, or sabotaged, because it was designed just for you. Your story was laced with intentional battles so that your breakthrough would have lasting authority.